there, but we also got into a discussion of something that I found very interesting. There was, and I think if I'm correct, you'll lay this out for them. It was the start of COVID or the lockdown. I don't know
Yes.
how we're going to call that, but
Yeah, it was
you
the beginning,
discovered something.
right at the beginning. Yep.
What did you discover when it came to
Oh,
nutrition and fasting? And
well, I wanted, obviously, it was 2020. I know I pushed to do the Arnold. I decided to do it because I think I had told Marco Rivera's wife, Yashira, she's like, if you do Arnold, kind of one of those things I put myself in the dirt. I was like, well, if you do the Arnold, I'll do it. And she signed up. So I'm like, okay, I guess I got to do it. Start getting ready. And I wanted to do the Arnold, the main one in Ohio, Arnold, Australia, which I never been, and Brazil, which I have done in the past. So it would have been my first time doing three Arnolds in a row. And obviously, pandemic happened, everything it came crashing. The last show of the year, which was the first show of the year in 2020. So now I'm thinking, what am I going to do with all this muscle, all this weight? I don't want to keep competing, so I had to kind of get myself down because I don't want to have all that extra weight. It's like having the arsenal. I mean, the USSR collapsed; they had to sell all their arsenal. One of those things. So I have all this weight. It's like let me just kind of trim down. So I had to trigger all this
but now
weight.
at this stage, though, you had some weight on you, but you were in, you're
Yeah, it was
prepping.
about
So it wasn't like
270, yeah,
you
270,
were a
275.
it's a monster. Mostly your
Yeah.
shape and your it's like that's a huge human.
No, I'm pretty big. And again, I'm not as tall as you. I'm only 5'9", so I'm carrying all this weight. What am I going to do? I'm consuming so much damn food, 5,000 calories a day. And I don't want to do this anymore. So I had to slowly but surely keep changing my diet until I settled to a comfortable weight. That weight was, about 235, 240. But other than just eating my regular meals, I wanted to start the fasting. I know, so a few things on fasting. I know a few guys, I know a few competitors that do it for Ramadan and all this other stuff. I said, you know what, let me try this fasting. And I started first with, you know, 10 hours, then 12, then eventually I got to 14, then 16. And I settled down to the weight. I felt comfortable. As I told you before, I became from fuel dependent to fuel efficient. Now I can actually eat, move around, chase my kids, and play with them, and not have to worry about my next meal. And I think it's the best decision I made because now I don't have to worry about my heart having this overload of
Extra.
extra muscle, and it's the best I've ever felt, man. The best. I mean, yes, even when I was big, I didn't feel that good because now I'm carrying all this weight, huffing and puffing just to go a flight of stairs. And regardless how much cardio we did, it gave the illusion of looking healthy, but not so healthy.
What I loved is, and I can speak from experience, is when I do appearances with anybody from the pinnacle of health and fitness. Um, Most of them want to be seated while they do meets and greets and stuff,
Well,
or they don't stay standing like I do and keep moving around and keep that energy. And I was completely matched, if not outdone, this last weekend at the
yeah,
Evo Expo. You didn't sit down, you didn't stop,
uh,
you continued, and I freaking love that. And I could see how healthy um, you are. And if I'm correct, you're 50-51 now. Is that right?
52 this year, man. That's it.
52.
I'm
All right.
catching up.
All
Catching
right.
up.
All right. You're not the old school 52. This man's a
Yeah,
stud. But it just was nice to have somebody there that was like keeping that energy going and stuff. And so from me to you, it seems as though you made the right choice. Uh,
yes.
you're
It's all
52.
good, but remember, the energy, Mike, also comes from the people. I mean, when you look up, you see their faces. It's like, come on, how you gonna have some sort of attitude when the person is looking at you with this big ass Kool-Aid smile? The energy just comes, regardless. How your hips all banged up, your shoulders, your knee, whatever. They give you this energy that you forget all the pain. Obviously, when the conversation's over, they walk away. You're like, man, that was great. And you go back to decompressing. You're like, damn, what was that? My hips don't lie, boy.
I love that.
Yes,
And
but
I
yes, the energy of the people, the
agree.
energy of the people keeps you going.
And so, do you like appearances? Do you like doing that extra work that the pro has to do?
I don't mind. I don't mind because it gives you that time where the person can just connect from the person of the picture to the real life person who you are at the time. So I don't mind. It's never been a drag. It's never been like, oh man, I have to go do this. It's an opportunity for me to be like, man, I'm going to do this, and I hope I could help somebody out. I hope I could get somebody a good tip. I hope So I always approached it in a positive attitude, and sometimes, yes, been harder than others, and I think the most hard was getting ready for the Olympia and having those meet and greets.
Meet and greets, yeah.
Getting to it, horrible. Doing it, no problem. Afterwards, horrible. And so again, I think just at the moment, all the pain and suffering kind of goes out the window. So I do appreciate it, and it's a good moment to connect with your real life fans, and just letting them know that you appreciate the support, and that's it. Because it's up to them, man. You're only going because of them.
Are you blown away? You've been in this for a while. Are you blown away that these people show up to meet you,
Still,
but
yes,
they're meeting you, someone that had a passion for something, and you just chased your passion, and that without anything else, you chasing your passion and living that life you wanted to live motivated them. Is that shocking to you?
yes, it is. It's one of the things. Yeah, you did it. You were young, large, in charge. You're doing it. But when somebody says, "Man, I started training because of you," I think that never becomes old. You never assume like, "Yeah, I know." It's like, "Wow, thank you." And yes, I've heard it a number of times, but I always treat it as if it's the first time. And it's one of those things that I do for myself to keep myself humble because, man, this person really, listened to what I had to say when I thought I was sounding crazy and made no sense. But they listened, and that keeps me up,
I love
keeps me
that.
up. Yeah, yeah.
I can just imagine because I know that you, again, you've had a fun, interesting life. We'll say it that way. But
Yeah.
you always seem like my girl. You always seem. It doesn't matter. You're gonna be up, and you're gonna be like, I'm here. Let's do this. Let's have fun. Let's smile.
That's it. Let's not gloat in whatever was bad. Let's not gloat on it. Let's not, we're not the
What do you
pity
tell your
parent.
friends? What do you tell your friends that do dip and they go into that and uh, the world owes me, or life sucks, and this is even though maybe they have the family, the kid, whatever. What's your kind of advice for that?